If you're just finding this video, congratulations. It means that your young adult is about to graduate from high school and you're very excited about the changes that are coming up and you're looking for ways to support them and help them be as successful as possible. This video is to help you succeed in those goals. I'm Dr. Navarro. I work with students who are getting ready to transition from high school and their families to help them have the most effective transition possible. And today, I want to talk to you about transition and how planning should typically happen early, but in actuality, it's never too late to start planning for transition. When families reach 12th grade, there's a mix of excitement and pressure. The finish line is in sight, but the future, that part's still a little bit hazy. I often see this is where the conversation about college, technical school, jobs, independence begins at the last minute because it begins to really become a tangible thing that they can see coming over the horizon. And maybe they haven't had the opportunity to connect their young adult to a summer job or develop volunteer hours to practice managing daily skills like laundry or cooking. And it's not because anyone failed, it's just because life gets really busy and there's no script for this. Or because we as parents, sometimes we step in to help, maybe a little bit too much. We do all the laundry, we cook all the meals, we impede those opportunities for growth without really meaning to. So now our young adult is standing on the edge of graduation with limited experiences and responsibility, maybe self-direction whenever it comes to careers or any kind of real world planning that they've participated in. And this is where the realization sets in. It's very emotional because we have panic over what's been missed, shame over not starting sooner, confusion about what happens next. And I definitely feel those things too as a parent. I know that some of the stress could have been eased if I started earlier. But the thing that I'm here to tell you is that it's not too late. And this is where I really want to challenge a common belief that if a young adult hasn't learned something by a particular time, that it's a failure. And that's not really the case. The real failure is really ignoring those needs whenever we see them. Because whenever we are aware, it's not the end, it's not a failure, it's just the beginning of addressing that need. So if we're recognizing it in 12th grade, that's where we're going to start. So when parents come to me and they're overwhelmed, they're not sure where to start, I say, okay, well, let's look at the gaps. Let's look at the areas in our young adults ecosystem, right? Because there's a whole set of skills that they need and a whole set of experiences that would help them. So what are the gaps? What's urgent? What are those small, meaningful steps that will help them have some quick wins and get the momentum? And for that purpose, I have a resource for you in the description. It's called the Transition to Adulthood Ecosystem Guide. It is free and it's a clear starting point that outlines everything from education to employment, self-care, social growth, being part of a community, being independent. So it kind of gives you a roadmap of where to go and how to proceed. And I know that this moment feels really heavy right now. 12th grade, so many things going on, and the end is drawing near. But just recognize that you're not the only person that has arrived at this destination with this realization. Thousands of families navigate the same type of uncertainty, but the big difference for you is you can have a framework, a guide for next steps. So if you take one thing away from this video, just be sure to talk to your team and start having conversations. The first question is, what do you think that life will be like after high school? What does it look like? That single question is really going to help get the momentum going, and you can talk about all those different facets inside of the ecosystem. What is our support community going to look like? What is work going to look like? What is our career goal going to look like? Those are the types of things that really help develop some real readiness. So hopefully, as we're parting ways here, you feel a little bit more relief that you realize that your awareness is good and it's the first step in the momentum that you're going to need to be successful. And hopefully, you're motivated to take those small steps and be intentional with the transition. And I hope that you are able to use the resource to get some clarity, to get a path forward. And again, being anxious is normal. It's just your mind telling you that change is needed. And so, as you have change, it will replace the anxiety with a little bit more confidence. And as you feel more confidence, you'll definitely build the calm that you need to move forward, and you'll feel better about your young adult's transition to adulthood. When we do start earlier, the transition is a lot more seamless. I had a former coworker who was the mother of two kids. One ended up being a professional baseball player, and the other one ended up being a neurosurgeon. And their secret was basically starting at a very early age. So, all through high school, we were focused on sciences to be a neurosurgeon, or we were part of several ball teams in order to be focused on baseball. And so that support of their passions really was a planned thing that was done with intention, even from visiting schools that would support their career goals. And that story really changed the way that I view readiness whenever it comes to employment and adulthood. Early planning really opens doors that don't exist later on, and we have the opportunity to do that starting sooner. So we're talking about 8th and ninth grade. But being real, not everyone gets a chance to start early, and that's okay. I've worked with students that came with no direction, no background in any type of career focus. And our goal was to help them have those quick wins to be successful. So, uh, a student that was interested in healthcare went to get a certification to be a CNA or in phlebotomy. So the progress is still possible. It just has to match where the young adult is right now.